Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Corey Enman, your eXp Realtor here in Gilbert, Arizona. And today I'm doing a video on the top 5 reasons my family moved from Los Angeles to here in Gilbert, Arizona. So the reason I'm doing this video is I wish we had had somebody do this video when we were moving, just so that we could get the information and the real in-depth knowledge that we need to make the right decision for our family. So a little backstory on why we decided to move from Los Angeles to here in Gilbert, Arizona. So basically about a year ago, we sat down as a family, my wife and I, and we just kind of did a budget meeting. We really wanted to see where we were at. She was in high-level finance at Warner Brothers, and I had owned boot camp facility gyms for, probably the last 13 years. So we sat down, did a budget meeting, and went through all of our payments, all of our money, all of our income, and we just kind of looked at each other and we're like, man, I don't know if this is worth it. We are working really, really hard, make a pretty good amount of money, and we feel like we're really broke. So the cost of living really was pretty high. So basically what we did is we realized, you know what, our income is not gonna go anywhere if we keep doing what we're gonna do. And our house that we had bought in 2015 had almost doubled in price. So the market in Los Angeles was crazy. And even though we weren't in the best area, we were a little bit in North LA, our house, which we bought in 2015, had almost doubled by 2022. So we were looking at how much equity we never refinanced. We saw how much equity we had in the house, and we're like, you know what? This might be a great time to sell. Also, one of the biggest reasons was our oldest son, my oldest stepson, he was going to be a senior in Grand Canyon University in Phoenix. And then our high school senior, my other stepson, was going to graduate high school in Los Angeles. And he also was going to attend Grand Canyon University, which is in Phoenix. So we thought about it, saw the house price was through the roof. Both of our boys are going to be in Arizona. You know, we could sell the house and we can really change the things that we're doing and live somewhere else. So that's how we decided to pick Phoenix, Arizona. So before we get into the top 5 reasons we chose Gilbert, Arizona, when we did move to Phoenix, I'd love for you to do me a favor. Make sure you hit subscribe right here. Subscribe and check the notifications, because what I plan on doing is we're going to be doing videos every single week. And in real estate, we want to make sure that they're up to date because the market is always changing. So we're going to be doing it up to date all the time. So if you put those notifications on, you'll be aware and you'll get the notifications every time we do a new video. So you'll be up to date on everything that's going on. So go ahead and subscribe, hit your notifications, and we'll get rocking and rolling. All right, so now we're gonna get into the top 5 reasons why we moved from Gilbert. But first, when we decided we were gonna move to Arizona, to the Phoenix area, we weren't sure where. Phoenix area is pretty big. There's 2 different valleys. There, you know, in Phoenix, you have Central, and then you have the West Valley, where it's like Alhambra, Arcadia, Glendale, and then you have the East Valley, where there's Chandler and Mesa and Gilbert, Scottsdale. And then down in middle is in Phoenix. So we weren't really sure where. And on the internet, there's so many people that love where they live in Phoenix, so we just weren't sure. So we decided we were gonna come out on one weekend and we were gonna do a world tour of all the different cities in the Phoenix area. So once we finished our world tour, we went through all these different, we went through Chandler, we went through Mesa, we went through Gilbert, went through Scottsdale, went through Peoria, went through Surprise. We really did go through all the different cities. So after we went through all the cities, we visited them, we saw the houses, we saw the downtowns, we saw kind of the demographics, where it was located. We ended up deciding on Gilbert. So now I'm gonna go over the 5 reasons that we chose Gilbert, Arizona for our new home. So the number 1 reason we chose Gilbert was definitely location. The cool thing about Gilbert is it's right next to Phoenix. So we are literally about 20 minutes from Phoenix. In fact, we're only about 20 minutes from Sky Harbor Freeway. In the area, like there's the East Valley and West Valley. So Gilbert is in the East Valley, and we're really close to Scottsdale. Scottsdale's only about 20 minutes northwest. Chandler's right next door. Mesa's right next door. We have we have Superstition Mountains. We have Camelback. There's all kinds of hiking. There's lakes. Lake Isabella is close. Saguaro Lake is close. It's all kinds of lakes, hiking trails, the airport, Scottsdale. Also the driving distance. So the driving distance, if we did want to go to the West Valley, which is Arcadia, Alhambra, and Glendale. Glendale is where State Farm Stadium is. That's where they have the Super Bowls and the Final Fours. That's where the Phoenix Cardinals play. There's a lot of stuff and entertainment to do over there too. And that's only about 45 minutes away. Plus our kids' school, Grand Canyon University, is also only 40 minutes away. So this location ended up being really great, and we're still driving distance to Los Angeles because we've got a lot of kids, so we can still get in the car and drive to LA. It's only about a 5-hour to 6-hour drive depending on where you go, and the same at Vegas. Vegas is still driving distance. And if we didn't want to bring our kids, it's only an hour flight to both Vegas and Los Angeles. So definitely location was the number one factor of why we moved to Gilbert, Arizona. All right, so the number 2 reason that we moved to Gilbert, Arizona was definitely safety and quality of life. Everybody knows, even if you don't live in Los Angeles, that the quality of life in Los Angeles the past 5 to 10 years has steadily decreased. I love Los Angeles. I'm originally from New England. I hate the cold, I hate the snow, I hate the rain. And that's just me. And I love the weather in Los Angeles. You can't beat it. 75 degrees and sunny literally every single day of the year. Only problem is it never rains, which they do have droughts, but the weather is just fantastic. But really the last few years, it's been really bad. And the quality of life has really decreased significantly. For 15 years, I lived in Burbank, which is a suburb of Los Angeles, and is a little bit more upscale. It was a nicer suburb, but even Burbank, you're starting to see a lot of the quality of life to decrease. A lot of homelessness, and that was the real big reason. In 2022, Los Angeles housed 44,000 homeless people. It's the largest homeless population in the entire country. And it wasn't just located in Los Angeles downtown like it used to be. It is everywhere and it's sprawling. So we got to the point where we just didn't feel safe anymore. I didn't feel safe letting my daughter go out and walk the dog. It was to the point where the homeless were literally everywhere, tents on the sidewalks in every town, in every city, mostly in the greater Los Angeles County. Outside of Los Angeles into the Riverside County, not as bad, but definitely more in Los Angeles County. And it got to the point where we knew the names, nicknames, and the dangers that some of them presented. And it's too bad. It's really unfortunate. And the drug problem with those people, it just really wasn't safe for my kids and my family anymore. So that's the big reason we decided. So when we found Gilbert is literally ranked number 2 safest in Arizona, in the entire state of Arizona. And it's one of the top 15 safest in the entire country. And that's mostly because of it's very family friendly, and there's there's a great police force, and it's just it's a small town that has grown significantly. And it's just been the way they planned it and the way they developed it. It's just such a safe place. So now being here, we feel safe unlocking the doors. We leave our bikes out. The kids are running outside. They go out past dark. I don't even know where they are, and I still feel comfortable. So definitely safety in Gilbert's one of the safest places to raise a family in all of Arizona. All right, the number 3 reason that we decided to move to Gilbert, Arizona was the amount of recreation that is available in this town. So the town of Gilbert, and it is still considered a town, even though I believe there's over 250,000 people in this town. It's one of the biggest towns. I think it's the biggest town in America. So it really is a small town feel with city amenities. But the amount of recreation that you can do here in Gilbert was amazing. In Los Angeles, a little bit tough because you just had to drive everywhere. It's very spread out. So there's all kinds of parks and things like that, but really far away. Everything here is located within the Gilbert area. There are so many parks and green belts. There's parks in every community. Lots of pre-planned or planned development communities that have parks inside. Here in our community, we have a park probably about 100 feet away. There's a green belt as our front yard, which is a massive green area. There's lakes, like I had said before. There's all kinds of lakes. We went on a ferry trip on a lake. There's brunch on lakes. There's a lot of boating. There's a lot, and then if you really want to drive, you can go to Lake Havasu, which isn't that far away. And so there's really lots of lakes. There's baseball, spring break, all of the spring break baseball, Major League Baseball teams come here. So there's a field in Scottsdale for the Arizona Diamondbacks. There's all the National League teams come over here. Some of the American League. The Angels are here close to downtown Phoenix, about 15 minutes away. So lots of baseball fields and stadiums here for spring break when they come out. There's tons of hiking in this area. We haven't even scratched the surface of it yet. Obviously in the summer months, hiking, you got to get out early, but really after the summer, from October until May, June, it is absolutely beautiful weather here. So there's tons of hiking, tons of outdoor, tons of water, a lot more water here in the desert than I thought, even compared to Los Angeles. And then If you have families, we have kids, and I love sports. So the amount of sports facilities here is unbelievable. Los Angeles, not a ton of fields. And if there were fields, not a ton of grass and not a lot of space. But here, there's so much. And the amount of space that they have is unbelievable. The facilities are all relatively new. And that will be probably another one. We're actually going to compare. We'll do a video on the comparison of the different sports fields that are here. And they are pretty amazing. And also they have the largest sports facility in North America in Mesa, which isn't too far away, about 15 minutes from here. So the amount of sports facilities and the opportunity for my kids to be able to play sports and football and soccer and indoor and outdoor, it's just amazing. Dog parks, there's a dog park in our actual community, which is walking distance, but there's all these dog parks all over the place, and it's very friendly in this city. There's dog parks, and dogs are welcome all over the place at a lot of the restaurants, so it's a very dog-friendly type city. And we love dogs. We're not cat people, and if you're a cat person, you probably don't want to watch this anyway. And then playgrounds, so many playgrounds for kids. There's playgrounds all over the place. And what's funny is it's really hot here in the summer. So the summer, people really aren't outside. They aren't swimming. But all the other times of the year, the other 8 months out of the year, there's so many parks and there's so many kids outside playing. It really is a beautiful place for families and recreation. There's and the recreation center here are amazing. They have all of them all over the place, super affordable. Some are really, really cheap. Rock climbing and batting cages and parks, and it's just been it's amazing how much stuff they have here for families. All right, the fourth reason that we moved to Gilbert, Arizona is really the community. We wanted a community feel in Los Angeles. Unless you lived in the suburbs outside of Los Angeles County, it really was hard to get a family feel, family community. We were lucky. We found it through our church and through our school, which I'll get into. But out here, since there's so many planned developments and there's so many beautiful neighborhoods and there's so many different neighborhoods in the city, that it's really easy to find a community that you want. Also, the average age, 67% of people in Gilbert are under the age of 45. So right where I am. So it's mostly young families that live here. And just even in the community that we're in right now, there's so many kids outside playing right now, and our kids get to go out there. And it's just it's a very, very family friendly environment for the entire city. It's funny, when we were looking to move here, there's a place, there's a Facebook group called Go Gilbert. We went on there and we just said, hey, what's the best place in Gilbert? Where's the bad areas? Where should we avoid? Because there's always a bad area in a city that you want to avoid. And what's crazy is people are like, there really isn't a bad area. And we didn't believe it until we came out here. And we have now lived here for a year, and we've driven all over the city. And I have yet to find a bad area where there's either crime or it's run down. One of the things there's a lot of HOAs here, which, if you own a house, it might not be so great, but it keeps the place looking beautiful, manicured lawns, all the different sidewalks. It's just very clean compared to Los Angeles. Lots of planned communities. And then the churches. There's so many different churches. We happened to be a part of a church back in Los Angeles, which we loved, and we were afraid we weren't going to be able to find one. And we'll probably I'll do another video about the different churches, just because, there's so many good ones. We're a Christian family. And it was a big deal to find a church that was going to, connect and be able to help us, really get our roots in. And we went on a world tour of churches too, which is what we'll do a video for. And we ended up finding just a beautiful place. And there's so many options within this town, literally probably 15 to 20 to 25 different really good churches that you can choose from, depending on, it doesn't even matter religion. And this is a huge Mormon population here too in Gilbert. So lots to choose from, but that was really community, man. Planned developments, community, neighborhoods, houses, and all the different houses, so many different price points, really from obviously a lot less expensive than Los Angeles. However, Gilbert still is a little bit higher. I think it's 18% higher than national average. So it's not too much cheaper than anywhere else. Definitely cheaper than Los Angeles, or more affordable. But it's just a beautiful area. You get a lot more house for the price here in a better environment, a better community. All right, and then the last one, number 5, fifth top reason why we moved our family from Los Angeles here to Gilbert, Arizona, is education. we were blessed. We had the opportunity to send our kids to a private Christian school in Los Angeles. And we just happened to get lucky. It was such an amazing school. We loved it, the community feel. Me growing up, I went to both private and public through all three levels, and I just really enjoyed private a little bit more. I just felt more comfortable, and our kids have been able to do that. Nothing wrong with that, with public or anything like that. It's our own personal belief that we want to do that, and we want to raise our kids in that environment. But here, the public school systems in Gilbert, they're ranked at one of the top, if not the top or number 2 best school districts in all of Arizona, the entire state, not just Phoenix, the entire state of Arizona. So the schools, and then the amount of charter schools and public schools and private schools here is immense. The cool thing is, and this is very different, that when we got here, I had no idea, you do not have to live in the area of the school that you want to go to. So if there's a school that's 5, 6, 7, 8 miles away and you want to drive your kid there because they have a better reputation or your kids feel safer there or whatever, you can go there. You do not have to live near it, and that goes for high schools, and it's pretty amazing. Plus, if your children do decide to go to a Christian school, they have all kinds of programs. In fact, the state of Arizona gives every child, it's called I believe it's their ESA program. They give every kid $7,500 to go to attend a Christian school. So if you're into that, great. If not, then, it's public school, and they have some of the top rated public schools in the country. But tons of options. We've been blessed that we basically found a school that is literally not even 2 blocks away from us, which is 2 minutes from our garage. And it's been a blessing for our kids and our family. We love it, and the kids love it. But there's just so many choices here, and you really can't go wrong here in Gilbert with your kids and your schools. And they're also starting to do, with some of these new developments, they're still building. This town is still growing, and they're still building. They're even building schools within the communities. So these communities have schools within it. So not only are these kids growing up together, next door neighbors, they're going to school together. And that's really building more community all the way through until they grow up. So it's pretty amazing. Love the education and the fact that my kids can go wherever they want here in Gilbert. So I hope you enjoyed those 5 reasons that we moved my family from Los Angeles to Phoenix, Arizona, Gilbert, Arizona specifically. Do me a favor. We're going to have lots of videos. We're going to do videos weekly, but we're also going to do different community tours here in Gilbert. We're going to do, business tours. Make sure that we start highlighting some of the local businesses, some of these parks, some of these churches, some of these schools. So we're going to give as much data and video content as we can so that people can make the decision. If you are planning on moving to Gilbert, Arizona, we'd love to help you, love to be your real estate agent, love to take care of you. So reach out. You can find us anywhere on social media, Corey Enman, basically on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. And then make sure you subscribe, hit notifications, because if you do that, you'll be able to know when we send out new videos, which will be updated, and so that you'll be updated in regards to the market and what's going on. So thanks for watching. Hope it helped, and we'll see you soon.